Hi, it's Diggin. Glad you found me. The video prior to this, I spoke about both Jesus and aliens, and I'm introducing the knowledge of the fact that God's house is really, really, really large, and there was no way that whether we want to call him our brother or our savior, did he forget anybody? Um, and that's for certain. Here on Earth are the ones that need awakening. That's a fact, Jack. Okay, so I sat here and I thought for a little bit, only because I'm going, do I bring this up and continue on this path to almost like a slow release, and all the while giving you information of all that I've experienced and I have seen, and I really, it really weighs heavy before I decide to make a video, because people's lives are important. People's lives are real, and a lot of this is not only real, which it is, but serious for the most part. I'm just a ham, and I always like to lighten things up because there's just so much seriousness all around us, and we've been drowning in it worldwide. There's been this feeling of, oppression and depression, and people feeling downtrodden. And only now has there been enough of a release on the chokehold that everybody's taking their second breath. So I thought, okay, as okay, this one here, I'm just going to stick per. This one here is going to be about an interaction I had with a Anunnaki. And yes, I know what I'm saying. I am saying I'll take truth serum. I have no problem with any of this. Okay, so my experience. What happens a lot of times when I fall asleep, I go different places or I'm taken different places. Um, um, and I gain experience that way. I don't understand the complete science of, we'll say, parallel universes, but I know that it's almost like I'm systematically, like I said, I'm always on. So I'm always on this double road, wherever that double road is. And what I mean by that is that it's not only in my sleep. I mean, I've had these experiences while I was awake as well. So the one time, and this is about the third time, but this was a one-on-one interaction, and I wasn't sure if I was awake or sleeping. You know how you kind of wake up and you lay there and you're like, did I dream this? Like, what? Just let me hear this, and then you hear it, and then you're wondering, am I awake? What are what are the odds in that state? So I remember hearing footsteps, lots of footsteps, like a march, and I thought, what is that? And I started to listen because it really caught my attention, like the vibration of these, footsteps, and the fact that there were so many. Like, you could hear it. There was just so many, you couldn't count them. And I thought to myself, A, where am I? B, what's going on? C, is this dream state, wake state? what level, what sphere, what dimension, what time frame. I asked all of these questions all at once, and I could still hear them. And for whatever reason, I was screaming at my son, going, come on, like, can't you hear the marching? Like, they're getting closer and louder. And I said, I think it's an invasion of something. I don't know why I never saw this before. I was saying this to my son. And he was saying, let me get this piece, let me get this piece. And I'm like, seriously? We gotta go now. And so he finally caught up with me, and we were about to book it, and all of a sudden I went, oh great, we are so dead, we are so done. Because right in front of us, and it reminded me of the Friendly Giant, where it would say, look up, look way up into the castle, and there was the Friendly Giant. It was like that. But I think I was even smaller than I was when I was a kid watching the Friendly Giant. I felt even smaller than that in comparison to size. I'm down like what, the shin area maybe, and I thought, oh, we are so doomed. But to my surprise, he responded and said, on the contrary, you're not doomed. This is why I'm here. And I felt like I was on the Bugs Bunny show. I just put on my e-brake. What? You heard me thinking, what? And yeah, all of a sudden there was this conversation happening, and I was questioning the reality of these feet. I could hear thousands of feet, and they were all marching, and they were all in rhythm. They didn't break rhythm at all, not at once. And he said, yes, that's right. We are headed in this direction. And I was pretty much thinking, well, you're pretty cocky. This could be my last goodbye, and you want to make small talk, like, hello, like I thought, how deep it is. But I was in error. I had obviously made a mistake, and when I heard what was said, and I threw on my e-brakes, I, just looked at my child, and I looked up, and I, what came to me, the second thing that came to me was, I've talked to other aliens than you. That's what I said. I don't know, was I trying to break ground, mutual ground, breaking bread, and the response was, yes, I know, we all know. This is why I'm here communicating with you. And I said, you all know? And he said, absolutely. At that point, I said, God? And his response was, looking up into the universe, his response was, we all know God. And so I thought, chill, okay, I can talk to you. I'm not going to die anytime soon. If you believe in God, that's a good start with me. I needed to get that straight. And I think what it was what are my chances of death at this meeting? How lucky am I? I'm afraid to roll snake eyes. So, and so I, after I had said that, and he had said, yes, we all know God, that I did calm down enough, and I'm serious in saying, okay, I wanted to have a conversation. And he was telling me that they were on their way, but to help mankind. I possibly would have doubted, still a little apprehensive, but the fact that his response was, yes, I know God, we all know God. I wasn't as apprehensive, um, and I listened a little more than what I normally would have by nature. You know, I used to be a doubting Thomas, believe it or not. I don't know why, but I did. Just, I think it's puberty. When you hit puberty, puberty, something goes weird. You just become, dumb. You don't hear things anymore, and you know. So, to make a long story short, I said, what do we need salvation from? We have a savior, and the saving didn't have anything to do with the soul that he spoke of or the spirit. It had to do with the physical body, us having the opportunity to live on this planet itself, because the planet is alive. And so for this reason, and I thought, wow, cool. Well, that's pretty decent of you. Like everybody has this idea, like everybody's thinking alike. And the answer to that was yes, 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 yes. And again, I reiterated, okay, so if you're here to save us, the physical flesh and the earth as flesh, saving it from what? And he said, look with me. And so he pointed to his left. Now I'm looking up, and I'm looking way up, and all of a suddenly I'm following his hand and his arm, and it's kind of like my mind flew with him. It wasn't too far, and there was this pew, and by the pew was three men, and I said, "What's this all about? And who are those three men?" Like, okay, they've got something to do with there being divine intervention, and the answer to that was yes. He said, "You see those three men?" I said, I most certainly do. He said, "One of them is crazy enough to push that button." I said, "What?" And I looked. On top of the pew was this box, and this box had a button. And I was like, are you telling me what I think you're telling me?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Wow, okay, humanity's really in some big trouble here. Like, what are we going to do?" He said, "Scientists have figured out how to bring people to a certain planet or a certain moon, but they haven't figured out how to bring them back. And some of them, to avoid all of this, they went, okay, don't matter. We're going, we want off of Earth. We're going, to that moon or to that planet. That's A-okay with us. If we don't make it back there, not a problem. Can we live? Can we breathe? Can we eat? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go." They didn't care whether they can come back or not. And I was in awe because during that time frame that I had seen it, technology wasn't around. Like the internet wasn't in anybody's home, like nobody's home. We still had the old phones, and wow, maybe just as the big cell phone came in, or a little before that, I'm talking about. And so I was in awe. I was absolutely in awe by, on the one end, by the technology and the science that we were able to achieve. But the other awe was the fact that I could not believe that one of these three could actually push that button, and that would be the end of us, all of us. The world will, roll up like a scroll. And I said, "This can't happen. Oh no, this can't happen. This is a lot worse than what I ever imagined." And then he spoke about prayer and positive thought, and how we need to emanate these vibrations in order for us to change the direction of things. And even if it is just the slightest of change, it's a change. And could it divert this particular future? Yes, absolutely. So I was, okay, tell me more, because he was talking at that point about prayer. He was talking about thought. He was talking about singing your prayers, just like a mantra, really. And everybody sings to God. Everybody sings to the universe. And so he showed me the impact of what it would do. And so I was taking notes. I said, absolutely. Okay. Messenger, got it. These are the messages, got it. So I'm relaying them. I'm relaying them to you. And so as he was talking about peace, and they are going to prevent that from happening, but we come awfully close. Um, uh, I did start, questioning and saying, well, I called them forever. I called them the Transformers, period, because they transform. Robots in disguise, Transformers. Because there was nothing yet on Earth that I could compare them to outside of the Transformers. And yes, I had two boys and a girl. And different. Oh boy, really different. So I thought, okay, so if there could be a war, how do you intend on defending the planet Earth, the human species, and their species, And he said, well, simple. And so he brought up his arm, and I saw his whole arm change into a machine gun. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, they all of a sudden, they were locked and loaded, and I was in awe. Like from boots all the way up, their helmet, and come on, I mean, it was really super impressive. Okay, like, wow. And so I said, I thought you were peaceful. I thought you people were peaceful. So if you were peaceful, why would you have the need for all this? And he chuckled. He said, let me tell you, we have the need for all this because of other planets and people trying to come and conquer and overtake, as well as your planet. It's pretty violent. Your planet is one of the most violent planets in the systems. We all know this. And so because of this, we do have to come shielded, and we do have to come with armor, because they're not about to be mowed over, not by anybody. And this was their purpose. And so, I was still looking up. Well, I was having this conversation, and I was looking like this way up, like, because it was way, 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 way up there. And so the message was, okay, because there is whispers of alien invasions, and we have to worry more so about these three loonies, their world powers, that at any given point, they lose their temper and go kaboom. We all go kaboom. And these people don't seem to care whether they live or die. It who has what, and to make it that nobody has anything, well, that's playing God. So I was really glad from a military point of view that he showed up and said, hey, listen, We know that you can communicate. This is going to be a real problem. And the stories that are out there, they always seem to, twist the truth, feed fear where there should be no fear, and lie. So, people are kept unaware. So I said, hey, listen, okay, so first course of action, if we hear massive marching, we have to prepare ourselves for divine intervention, because the enemies of this world, okay, are about to go into overdrive. Now, they've appeared to idle. Nobody's idled. Nobody has idled. Everybody is full throttle. I know it. And why I know it is, like I said, this was before technology ever hit any house, was ever created in any garage. We're talking computers, and then the internet just might be as old as, I'm not too sure. I know that CERN created it, but so when I was looking at this, I had to look at different factors as time went on. Science started to unravel exactly what was told to me, and their capabilities have continued to unravel and present themselves, right to the point of bringing somebody to another planet and there being some type of kerfuffle as to whether they can come back or not, or bringing them back or not, and a whole lot of that. Okay, so there is going to be what I would call an opportunity for escape route. Um, uh, and literally, it is like that. I can't call it no pre-rapture or this or that. That wasn't it at all. What it was, like I said, the armies. It was like everybody was wound up so tight that everybody was on edge. The last time I remember this feeling was when I was a kid, and constantly under that table, we went, because the reality of war and nukes became very real. So I said, totally, I'm in agreement. I was so grateful that I was approachable. There is an understanding of, okay, now how do I put this out there? I waited a lot of years to say this. People that have been around me long enough, they know this, and they've had their validation. One day I'll get testimony. But I'm being really serious. I'm being dead serious about this. So throughout my lifetime, I've been given secrets of what they would say the universe. Now, when per se would I expect this? Well, since Nibiru, and yes, everyone's going to tell me how it doesn't exist. I know. But humor me for a second, please. Upon its coming back around, this is where it's during that particular time frame. Now, there's going to be a lot of events that are going to happen on Earth, and it's all going to happen really, really super fast. And we really need to be cautious. Like I'm telling you, okay, if I did not think it was, or believe that things are that dire, what and what and what what makes it dire is a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding, not not being told, hey, listen, because I'm not here to predict the future. I'm here to relay messages that come to me through the Word of God. And as you're going to hear throughout my videos, yes, other beings from other planets, they too know God. And no, I am not being deceived. I know Lucy, what he looks like, all of the above. I am so light that, a woman really made me feel blessed one day. I shared with her in a chat room. that in heaven, when I was standing before the Lord, I had blood all over me. And she said, "Bless you, you know, for you that enters heaven, you shall be wearing the blood of the slain, and that is my Lord." And I just went, you know what? Absolutely, absolutely. I have to hold fast onto His word, and I have to share as much as I could possibly share. I've had, I've got a lot of news I got to share. So anyway, that is one of my experiences with one of the Anunnaki. I am going to suggest that if you do believe, then believe this, because seriously, I was supposed to share this. All right, so understand that certain superpowers, there's going to be a real tension, and to answer that question, because even then we're going to ask, is this it? Is one of them going to lose it and push that button? Well, I'm going to say that divine timing is everything, because on that note, okay, so why all the hovering? Why is there so much? Because they know that what's going on. They know. Okay, it's not completely the way it's said. A lot of it, 80%. And that other 20%, it makes a difference. So they are really trying hard and not interfering per se, but not allowing us to completely blow each other up. And I think that I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to make one more video about this. I think it's important, and share this. I hope you like it. Give me a thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe. Um, if anything else, I don't know if I should call it story time, um, because it's more than just a story. What I am going to say is, listen, we're really blessed. We just don't know it yet, and I'm around to make sure that you do. Okay, I bid you an adieu, and as always, I'm going to say, ciao, amore. Ciao, ciao.